It was 5:36 a.m. on Thursday, February 18th, 2016, when I got the phone call. I am the first on the list for the security company for any emergencies that happen, whether it be the alarm going off due to a break-in or fire, both at the Synod office, my day job, and also Gloria Dei, my other after-hour job. Is this Kathy Weimer? This is our security calling regarding Gloria Dei Lutheran Church at 219 North 6th Avenue East. There is a fire in the building. The fire department is already there, and they need a key holder on the site as soon as possible. I have had many of these phone calls in the past 20 years. They have most always been false alarms. So I wasn't too concerned about this one. But I got up quickly, put on some clothes, and left the house within 5 minutes. When I arrived, the streets were blocked off 1 block from and around the building. The closest place to park was up on 4th Street, so I parked in front of Dunbar's Florist and walked down. When I got down to the church, it didn't look so bad. There was a little bit of smoke coming out of the window on the corner of 6th Avenue East and 3rd Street. I thought they will put the fire out, and I will be able to go home, get ready, and be to work on time, no problem. I met with the fire marshal and then stood and watched with others that were gathering. As the fire progressed, people were crying, hugging, and in shock. I stood there feeling hopeful and saying to myself, it will be okay. There was so much emotion and many tears surrounding me. A reporter wanted to interview some of us, but we just couldn't. We couldn't get the words out of how we felt. One woman came up and handed someone $10 to go get coffee. The firefighters couldn't get in the building because of the smoke and fire traveling throughout the sanctuary floor. After a while, they were up on ladders and started to break the Mary window, and I knew that we were in for a much longer ride. I watched as our altar painting went up in flames. I stayed at the site until around 8. It was February after all, and it was a bit chilly, and in my hurry, I hadn't really dressed to be outside for any length of time. But I really needed to go home and call the insurance company and start a claim. We still thank the firefighters because without their compassion and hard work, it could have been worse. They were upset and had a hard time when they were ordered to break the stained glass windows. But they knew they had to in order to save the building. We couldn't go in the building after the fire out, but they brought out some waterlogged hymnals and the quilted tree pictures that are now hanging in our new narthex. Karen Chelhog had made them and was present when one of the firemen brought them out. One of them didn't make it, but to have 7 out of the 8 is such a blessing. She was so happy she cried. She took them home, removed them from the frames, and gave them a bubble bath. After a few days, the cause was found to be old wiring. It was an electrical fire. It was not a stove left on or a crock pot plugged in after a Lenten soup supper the night before, or a plot by Essentia to get our property. Which is one comment I heard while we were watching our building burn. I went back later in the day of the fire and the next day too, and the days after that. Many people were picking up shards of glass and cleaning up around the building. I walked around the building with a friend of mine that I hadn't seen for a couple of years. He found part of the remains of our wall of faces board that had been hanging in the Hillside room. There were many faces I could see in the melted sooty cluster, and in the center of it was Pastor David's face. I have kept it in my office as a reminder of that day, and remember that we are still here together as the church. This is a building to provide our ministry and outreach together, but it is the people that are the church, standing together no matter what happens. Amen.
All would be lost, we were drawn to the light of God. This is Gloria Dei Lutheran Church in Duluth, Minnesota. We are an ELCA congregation. On February 18, 2016, our church building sustained significant fire damage due to an electrical fire that started in our sanctuary. Our sanctuary and the level below our sanctuary was completely ruined, as you will see in the pictures on this video. The lower level of our attached 1950s building had to be gutted due to the immense amounts of water that were used by the firefighters to save our building. We are so appreciative of the efforts of the firefighters on that day. They were there from early morning to late evening, and we are so grateful. Gloria Dei Lutheran Church is a citywide and globally connected parish. We are committed to God's ministry in the Hillside neighborhood of Duluth, Minnesota. On June 5, 2016, Gloria Dei affirmed its intention to return to the central Hillside neighborhood where our fire-damaged building is located. God has more for us to do at that location, and we will be moving back home. I'm going to walk you through our building and also describe some of our ministry programs. We're going to start with the lower level, which is below our sanctuary. This is our Hillside room, where we do our potlucks, our fellowship, Bible study, Sunday school, neighborhood ministries. It's a large area of space that we utilize for most of our events. And as you can see from these pictures, our space, which is below our sanctuary, is totally unusable. Gloria Dei celebrates its Swedish heritage every December with remembering St. Lucia's Day. There are special Swedish buns to eat, and the kids really have fun dressing up and processing as Sancta Lucia and her attendants. Since January of 2006, we've continued to have our free neighborhood breakfast. We serve our famous French toast, sausage and egg bake with cereal, and sometimes pancakes also, to our neighbors on the fourth Saturday of every month. We have a good time, and the reward of fellowship is priceless. Our annual Valentine party includes dancing and music, decorating cookies, making valentines, a free lunch, prizes for all, fishing for bags of goodies, and lots of joy. And now we're into our narthex area. This is a Palm Sunday processional picture, and this is what our narthex looks like now. You can see there's a large burnt hole next to the radiator, and this does go through to the lower hillside level. And here's the entryway to our sanctuary, and some before and after pictures for you to see. The firefighters did their very best to save our beautiful stained glass windows. But they did need to be broken so they could save our building. And for those of you that have been in our sanctuary before the fire, you may recall a large painting behind the altar depicting Christ's ascension. David Erickson, who is an internationally famous artist from Duluth, painted this for the then new 1906 Gloria Dei building in memory of his mother, who was a member of Gloria Dei. He and his family immigrated to Duluth from Sweden in 1873. Unfortunately, this painting is no longer with us. And here's the ceiling area above our altar. One of the fans, if you look closely, is kind of twisted from being burnt. Thankfully, our roof was intact, and so that was a blessing. We have a choir loft and balcony also that houses our organ at Gloria Dei, and it is in the back part of the sanctuary. As you could see from the photos, the organ was not salvageable at all.